RBE. It's the Roula and Ryan Show, so it's time for Romance or No Chance. You had a wacky or strange, unorthodox first date, and we've got to decide whether or not you saw each other again.
Nicole is going to kick this off for us. Now, Nicole, remember, do not give us any details that would lead us to the answer. Try and make it generic enough that we don't know if you guys saw each other at least one more time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So I went out on a date with this guy. This is a few years ago now. And we had actually a really good first part of our first date. Actually so good that I ended up going home with him that evening.
Okay.
And the next morning after the date, we were hanging out at his house, and all of a sudden, he looks at his phone and notices that his ex-girlfriend had just messaged him that she was on her way over to pick up some of her things. And before we even had a chance to get up and get out, she was walking through the front door to his house. And,
Did you know there was an ex-girlfriend that was so fresh of an ex that she would have things at his house?
I did. So they owned a home together, and they had been split up for a while and were kind of trying to sell the home, and he was still living there.
Okay.
But I definitely didn't expect her to come over that day.
So you're sure she was an ex and not just him claiming she was an ex?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We met. We introduced. It was very awkward.
But if you
so your first date actually bled into the second date.
Then I got my answer.
It led into the second date.
I'm already casting my vote. Yeah, they saw each other again.
I think so, too.
Yeah, because unless the girl went crazy or something and it was like, ooh, red flag, this is going to be too much drama for me, I'm going to cut and run.
But for a second date, I mean, like you said, they already...
The second date already kind of fell into it because of the first overnight. I'm going to go yes.
Yes.
Sam, what do you think? Yes, Kevin?
100%.
Oh, me.
Sorry. Okay, yes, I say yes because she doesn't seem salty about it.
Right. We all think that you guys saw each other
And you're
again,
married.
if not had like some long-term
Mary's
relationship.
living in that house now.
Right. Nicole, what's the answer?
We are not living in that house, but we do live together in a new house, and we are getting married next year.
Congratulations.
How fun.
And the bridesmaid will be the girl?
Yeah, she's not y'all are BFFs. Okay. Thanks for calling, Nicole. Have a great Thursday leading into the weekend. Have a great weekend, and thanks for listening to the Will and Ryan Show.
Last week we talked about like people sleeping together at the beginning, first date.
I can't remember when we talked about that.
Oh, man. I
People
think
that
so.
slept
And then
together?
people called in and said, like, oh, it was the
Don't
best
do that because then the guys are like, they want the
the best thing.
Overall,
Maybe we were on different shows.
I think it's good advice not to sleep on the first date. Of course, there can be the exceptions.
But you can do whatever you want.
Do you?
Whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like
But
doing.
just be careful because some guys, once they've...
Yeah, I had that there. Just
Had it
running
there.
out.
They're done.
Julie's up
Then you
next.
know.
We're doing Romance or No Chance. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're going to hear about weird or wacky first dates, and we're going to guess if they saw each other at least one more time. Hi, Julie. Tell us your story. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I had a guy that I worked with that asked me out on a date, and we went out to eat, and then we went back to his apartment to watch a movie. And at the end of the night, as I'm walking down the stairs, he's going to take me home. His ex-girlfriend is in the parking lot, and she's flashing her brights at me so I can't see. And I'm like, who is that? And he's like, get in the car, get in the car. So we get in the car, and she ends up chasing us
Oh, my gosh.
around town, trying to run us off the road.
first date.
God.
And that night, I ended up having to meet his mother because
why?
he didn't want to take me home to show her.
Oh,
where I
yeah,
live.
where you live.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. That's a lot.
Whoa, that is something else, Julie.
She met the mom. I'm thinking they saw each other again.
I think it's too much drama.
That's a lot.
Getting
Trying to
run
get
off
run
the
off the road by
That
an
is a lot.
ex-cuckoo. I mean, obviously you liked him enough to want to go to the apartment to Netflix and chill, but maybe that threw you off the trail
You
after
don't
you
take
saw
a girl to
it's
meet
too
your mama
much.
unless
You don't
it's...
share the
No,
choice.
you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Did you hear
It
that
wasn't
part?
because
Yeah.
It wasn't because he's like, hey, mom, meet
But
my
he
new
could have taken her
girlfriend.
somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
But if you want to go for like a few hours, where you going?
I guess who knows? It was
I
late.
say,
Maybe we went up to his childhood bedroom.
Okay, Julie, what do you guys think, Sam?
Yes.
Yes? Kevin, yes?
Yes, because he could have taken her somewhere else, but he likes her enough, so I think it was.
But does she
The
like
question
him
is, does she
enough?
like
Yeah.
him? I feel like there's a
Yeah.
smile in your voice when you're talking,
Yeah, she
though,
probably
Julie.
does.
So
I'll
I
say no.
want to say no, but I'm going to say yes.
I'll say no, just for the trying to get a point.
So 4
Okay,
yeses
Julie,
and a
did
no.
you see him again?
We've been married 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever happened with the ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Shall I leave y'all alone after that time, or did she still try and cause trouble?
No, she stalked us up until my daughter was like a year old because we had gotten pregnant, a little after that. And she stalked us for about a few years after that. And finally we ended up moving out of town. So.
How could this girl just not let go? My goodness.
Deep down, your husband's like, yeah, that's how good I am.
I got 2 women with me.
He'll never admit that to you, but deep down his ego is like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, she's.
I made her go a little.
It's crazy.
Crazy for me.
Oh, stop. Okay, Julie, thank you for calling for Romance or No Chance. You have a great weekend. We're going to move on to Rhonda on the line. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, remember, tell us about a weird or wacky first date without giving us any details that could lead us to the answer, and we'll guess if y'all saw each other again. Go ahead.
So this guy and I met online, and cool conversations for about a week. We decided, since we were both going out on Friday night to other events with our friends, to meet up for a cocktail before. We were at a public place, big patio bar, and super great conversation. It was going well. And we were standing, though, because it was so crowded. So we're standing on this patio. I have a cocktail dress and sparkly heels. Mm-hmm. I take off my heels because I got tired of standing in it for 45 minutes.
Sure.
And everything shifted. His demeanor completely changed, and I didn't understand what was going on, but he started getting real handsy, and I was like, oh, dude, you're cool, I like you, but, let's kind of relax a little bit, and he's like, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, and then, a few minutes later, he'd start up again. Finally, I said, what happened? We were having this great conversation, why do you keep getting so handsy with me? And he's like, well, you took your shoe off, and I saw your foot, and you have really pretty feet. And I said, oh, okay, well, I get that. Everyone has their thing. And I said, but, let's kind of keep your hands to yourself. Well, he couldn't do that, and finally it was getting a little inappropriate. So I said, hey, it's time for me to go. Nice meeting you. I was a little disappointed, obviously, that he was just getting inappropriate. So I took my little bag and I just walked away, and I told him, nice meeting you. Then later, for the next several hours, he keeps texting me saying, I'm sorry, your feet are really nice. Let's go out again. How about we go to brunch and a pedicure tomorrow?
Oh, my God. Brunch and a pedicure. That guy wanted to watch you get a pedicure.
I'm hoping she said no.
I think you've already told us that you're turned off, and this was a no.
No.
We're all going to say no, or Kevin thinks
but maybe
yes.
she talked to
I'm going to pull an Eric on this one, but not just because. But I'm leaning towards she eventually gave in to him because he really ended up being a nice guy, just a little bit on the weird side.
Okay, so what do you say, Sam? Yes or no?
I'm saying yes.
Okay, so 2 yeses and 3 nos. Rhonda, did you see the guy who's in love with your feet again?
A big fat no, and not because he has an interest in feet, but everyone has their thing that they're attracted to. I like intellect, but he was an engineer at an oil and gas company, so it wasn't about that. It was.
Uh-oh. It was about what?
Him at the bar.
Wait. Stop.
Your phone
cut out. It was about him being handsy at the bar?
When I walked away and left him at the bar, he started being belligerent and cursing at me and showing me his abs, saying a girl like me couldn't get someone like him. But then he proceeded to text me for the rest of the night, trying to get me to go out with him.
My God.
Look at these abs.
4.1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan show. So we were just
We're going to find out if we're normal
this.
or not. We're not. We already
Am I
know that.
normal stuff?
It's a bunch of cards of surveys with the generic answer written down. Special K, Eric, Sam, Ryan, and I, we're all in here, and you just talked about Ryan's zipper issue in that meeting.
Yeah.
And then what's the next card you pulled?
I pulled one out and it says, have you ever told someone their fly was down? 80% said yes.
Only if
That's
it
a
was
lot of
like
people.
somebody I knew really well. Like if it's a stranger, I don't want to say that because they're going to say, why is he looking at my crotch?
Exactly.
If it's noticeable,
I was thinking
yeah.
Tony Romo's crotch in the Super Bowl a couple
Oh, when
years
he had a
back.
little pee stain?
That was so embarrassing.
I loved
It
all
couldn't
the
have been
memes.
anything else but the pee drop,
Oh,
right?
that poor guy. People were like,
I don't wear khakis ever because of
no
that.
way.
Terrible,
People were trolling him
terrible.
like, Tony, you should have given it one more shake.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Well, there is that one small percentage that maybe when he washed his hands, the water pressure was so big.
No, that
it
was a pee
spilled,
stain,
but
Rolla.
No, there was no
All right, I'm going to
sprinkle.
give
It was
you
a
guys some
drop.
questions here.
Okay,
All
are
right.
you normal? It's a stack of cards, and Eric's just
And-
pulling random cards
And
out.
they did the research with the percentage, so we'll see how you guys and people listening.
All right, fire away.
Have you ever driven through a red light?
Of course.
Yes.
all the time. If it's like 4 a.m. and there's nobody coming in all
How about
directions.
during the day, though? Just
During the day when you think you can catch the yellow and you go,
I know, because you feel bad. Like,
it's
oh,
red.
I'll step twice tomorrow.
Sorry.
Here's why I
trying to
don't
catch
do
the
it.
yellow.
A, I don't want to get in a car accident. B, my inspection sticker's expired and I don't want to get pulled over.
Ooh, uh-oh.
What's the normal there? The average.
Kevin, how about you?
Oh, Kevin, have you driven through a red light?
Most days, I would say. Most mornings.
Well, you guys got alone 78%.
Have you? Did you say yes to that air too, Eric?
I'm sure I have. I don't like to.
The 78% said yes.
I hit that yellow. I'm like you guys.
What's really frustrating is when you feel guilty and you've gone through the yellow light and you see 2 cars that have gone behind you that also followed you through that intersection.
like, holy crap,
You're
they
like,
really-
man, I ran it, but you really ran it. And that guy really
That happened to me.
ran it.
Remember, I got pulled over. That's when you guys made fun of me.
Yeah, we were laughing so hard.
I followed Rula, and she went through the yellow.
I
And then
didn't know you were
really went
following
through
me.
it. I stopped, and then our mutual friend said, oh, Eric's getting pulled
I
over
know he
there.
goes, like, look at that idiot over there. Or
He
something.
said, look at that a-hole that just ran that red light. And I said, that's Eric.
Hey, listen, note to friends, note to selves, friends. When you're going to follow somebody, let the person you're following know you're following them. Otherwise, they're free reign, man. I didn't know you were behind me. By the way, the question was, have you ever? So under oath, we would all say yes to that.
By the way, when you mentioned that, that's a good point that you just brought up here. If you know somebody is following you and they...
Don't run yellows.
Yeah.
Because then they won't make it.
They're not going to make it and they're going to be lost.
That's where the sexism comes in for me.
Sexism comes in for you?
A lot
You're
of women that I've
chauvinistic.
known through the years, when they lead the way to go somewhere, they forget and they're not polite. They don't stay with you, like Ryan said, and they'll just go right through the light. Like the light's about to turn yellow, they go. I'm like, that's when you stop.
Now
you got
I'm
people behind
lost
you.
because
No,
I
I
can't
always
follow
say.
I've
you.
noticed that a lot.
If I knew someone was following me, I always take the yellow, Eric.
Are you kidding me? Rula, you are like this. She's a
I'm
weaver.
a weaver when I'm by myself,
She
Ryan.
moves
But
like
if
a
you were
bat out of
following
hell
me,
down
I don't
Westheimer.
leave if you're following me.
Now, this next
I
one,
suffer.
this could be a good try at Tuesday,
Okay.
except for Kevin. He's already done this before. Have you ever had your palm read?
Oh, God, no.
Like, I don't
wouldn't.
believe in this
I don't
stuff,
believe in
so
that crap.
I'd be curious if we brought a palm reader.
I
into
think
the
we
studio.
should. I would love
see.
to do that because that way
You guys know one?
No, I
was
don't.
traumatized by one when I was a child, so I refuse. I have such an angry aversion to palm
Wait, we
readers. I
can
want to punch them in the
turn
face.
around because Kevin, you did it.
Yes, and I got swept away because she
You get
was
swept away by everything, Kevin.
somewhat accurate.
Like what?
And you're like, here is a $4,500 you asked me for in that in that boiled egg and the handkerchief I was supposed to bring you. You know what I mean?
Kevin, you don't
With
really
a lock
believe
of
all
my
that stuff.
hair.
I remember a psychic one time told you that you would be dead within 5 years. That was like 10 years ago.
It
You're
was supposed to
fine.
be a car wreck.
Yeah. Come on now.
Stop!
Listen, when I was a kid, there was a Halloween party. In a
Final
real quick
destination.
nutshell, why? Because somebody might be asking, why did Roula go see a palm reader when she was a child? It was a Halloween party, and there were stations of things for kids to do,
What'd
and
they
one of
say?
them was a fortune teller. She had like all the garb on, like from the costume store. When I sat down with this stupid witch, she proceeded to tell me at 8 years old that I will never be married, I will never have children, and before I turn 30, I will suffer from such a serious disease that everyone thinks I'm going to be dead.
Who would do that
But then
to
I'm
a
going to
kid?
come back from it, but I still will never be
kind of kid
married or
party is
have
that? It's an
children.
An evil person.
And
that
I
would
walked away from
do
her
that.
with my eyes bugged out and totally traumatized and so ashamed. I didn't even tell anyone else at the party that that's what she said to me.
never
I didn't
did.
tell my mother. I didn't tell any of my friends. That woman sat at that table, and the only reason I visited her is because nobody was going to
You're
her
trying to be
table.
nice. You're being nice.
And she destroyed me. She destroyed me. So fortune tellers, blank off. I don't buy any
Were
of
you
the
get
crap
nervous
you
when you were
say.
30 and you weren't married?
I know, because then I realized that like 20 something ago, that lady was a bunch of bull crap, and who the hell hired her? Like,
But
why
I don't
would
know
she
why
say
adults
that?
say things to freak out kids like that. There was a guy, one of my dad's friends, he was
believe
telling me,
that?
he's like, I would say 12. And he said, you know, Ryan, he goes, I've got a scientific method to determine how tall you'll be. He said, you'll grow to be 5 feet tall. That's it. And I'm like, I'm only going to be 5 feet tall.
How old are you?
I was like 12. He said, I'd only be 5 feet tall. I'm 6 feet tall. And I was starting to think maybe
At 12, you probably already were 5 feet
Maybe he
tall.
was thinking of Special K.
I did that. My grandpa's bald, so I'd always be like worried
You
about
thought
it.
you were going to be bald?
I'd have, when did you go bald? And he'd say something. Then as I got older, like say I was 15. When did you go bald? He goes, well, how old are you? 15? And he goes, oh, I was 17. He just did a screw
Oh,
me.
man, that's
so
messed up.
screwy.
I'm like, what?
That's a whole other topic we could do. Like,
Did
what
any
were
of you
you
guys-
told as a child that you were like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen to me?
Yeah, because it freaks out. Did any of you guys know anybody in high school that was losing their hair?
Not that I noticed.
In high
Yeah,
school.
there was a kid in my class. He was losing his hair, and he was
Sometimes
17.
they could grow like a beard and mustache.
Yeah.
Testosterone. They could.
Are you allowed to have a beard and mustache in high school?
We weren't
Yes,
in our
Public
school.
we were.
Public school.
Oh, at my school,
Yeah.
it's all cleaned up. You got to look at military.
Yeah, you
style.
went
You
to
can wear whatever you
private.
want.
No, my school, you couldn't have earrings that hit your jawbone. They would measure. The teacher would measure. If your earring dangled past your jawbone, then you couldn't.
Sam,
wear
you didn't
them.
answer that question. By the way, it's 35% of people said yes, they have visited
A
had their
fortune
palm
teller.
read.
Palm read.
I've never had it.
I want to do it for Try Tuesday.
Yeah, I would be down. I don't believe in it, but I think it'd be very interesting. I like when people stretch. Like, you could stretch with it. Be like, one day you will be.
Oh, yeah, they're
One
waiting.
day. One day. Just not when.
Well, if
Do they
you,
charge more if the palm is bigger? Because my palms are bigger than your
Go
palms.
broke on you.
I get like a child discount.
I know. Sam's palms are so small.
if you are a palm reader, then let Eric know at producer Eric
Oh,
on
yeah.
Instagram
Yep.
and
Reach out.
DM him so we can get you up here.
I'd love to do that.
And which
You
palm
got
do you
another
read?
question?
I'll do one more. When you're trying to break up with someone, do you usually do it by avoiding them or do you actually confront them?
I would say I'd confront them. Like
you
I mean,
do, but today's average, I bet it's all ghosting.
Yep.
No.
Because you're
Ghost-
of a different dating
Yeah,
generation.
ghosting is such a not cool thing. It's a cowardly way out.
Good
It
thing
really
for you is
What do we
the
think
ladies
the
can't
answer
really
is now?
chase you in those walkers. At the-
I got my rascals.
Brian likes those older ladies.
What do we think?
No,
Do
I do not.
Listen, if
You know everybody. I have not dated any old ladies.
listen for this room, Eric, I know what our answer probably would be, but on average, if you're 23 listening to this show right now, what do you think the average actually is? And then we'll tell you what the card is. 'Cause-
Yeah, this says 33% said yes, they ghost people.
The ghost.
so only 30% of this card deck. Do
Yeah.
we know when this game was created?
That's what I'm wondering.
1996. No, last year. About last year.
Oh, okay, so that's
year.
good.
So that's good.
So a
There's
third
some
of
hope
people
for
go.
society that 67% will do the right thing.
Yeah, they just fade or the phase out. They
Yes.
just try to
I
phase
just pull
out.
away.
Yeah, do like
Pull away.
the rumor was Derek Jeter, the famous Yankee. He would give girls a basket,
A parting consolation
like,
gift?
like autographed jerseys and stuff. And
Are you kidding?
Oh
stuff.
my
He says
gosh.
it's BS. He's like, I don't know who started that rumor that I did this.
That's a great rumor.
But
Here's
I'm
a
like, it's
basket of
cool-
all my memorabilia.
I'm
You
breaking
can
up
sell
with
it.
you, but here's a lovely parting gift.
Yeah,
Yes.
parting gift.
Thank you for your time and service.
Have any of you
Well,
guys
hey.
ever ghosted anybody?
I mean, we were casually talking.
Yeah,
and I
casually
just-
means, you know,
Yeah, so.
your faces fell on top of each other every now and again, and then you never
Right,
called them
and
again.
then, yeah, you just stop returning
But
the
did you
text.
care?
No, I ghosted
Oh, you're
him.
the one who did it.
Oh, yeah,
How about
yeah.
you? Did you get ghosted?
I'm sure they tried, and I always found them.
You know, Sam, how some people, on that
Damn it,
note,
Shiva.
Sam, some people say, like, oh, you just block them. No, as
Yeah.
a girl, I feel like you don't want to block them because you want to know what they're doing.
Yes,
Because you need to know where they're going to end up.
Like,
It's
who
like,
would I hang out with now? And, we can't have the same circle.
right.
rolling.
Or like on your phone, if there's somebody you really can't stand, you have to keep their number in your phone so
you
you
know.
don't answer
Yes.
the text or
Yes.
you don't answer the call. Anyway, it's called Are You Normal? You can find this, I guess, Amazon or any
Yeah,
what,
but
Target
Amazon
or something.
for sure.
It's like a deck of cards with fun.
And there's a
little
game how you
questions.
play it, but I never play these games. I just
Yeah,
buy
we
the
just-
cards to
Mhm.
use for the
Fun.
show.
Yep.
Yeah.